Hello. The mission story of June 21, 2025, is coming from Indonesia. The title, Jungle Miracle, Part 1.
My name is Army. I didn't come to the mountains of Papua, Indonesia, to treat wounds or heal the sick. I'm not a doctor. I don't even know much about medicine. I came to teach children about Jesus, the master physician. But one day, a little girl at our jungle mission school came to me with a story I couldn't ignore. She told me about a mother in her village who hadn't been able to walk for 7 years. I listened carefully as she explained how the woman had fallen from a tree and had been in pain ever since. Something in my heart stirred. I couldn't ignore it. So a fellow missionary and I packed our things and began an 8-hour hike up into the mountains. The path was steep and winding, but the thought of that suffering mother pulled us forward. When we arrived in the village, we found her in a small grass hut, lying on a mat, her face etched with pain. Her right knee was swollen and infected, and she winced with every movement. We couldn't understand much of what she said. We spoke different dialects, but with hand gestures and a few shared words, she told us her story. After her fall, her husband had abandoned her, leaving her to raise 4 children alone. No hospitals, no doctors, no hope. She looked at me with eyes full of desperation and said the words I will never forget. Help me to walk again. I stepped outside with my friend and we prayed. Lord, I whispered, we don't know what we're doing, but you do. Please show us how to help this woman. Back in the hut, we gently cleaned her wound, my hands trembling the whole time. I was afraid we might make it worse. Neighbors gathered to watch, and I could feel their eyes on us. I started to sweat. What if they were expecting a miracle from us? What if we failed? Then I told her about Jesus. She had never heard his name before. Neither had the neighbors. They followed a local form of mysticism. But she listened as I explained, using every hand gesture I knew, that only Jesus could bring true healing. She looked at me and said, I don't know anything about your Jesus, but I'll accept whoever can restore my health. All I had with me were some charcoal and vitamin C tablets. We applied them. Then I invited everyone in the hut to join me in prayer. As I prayed, something happened I still struggle to explain. When I opened my eyes, I saw tears rolling down their cheeks. I panicked. Was something wrong? But then one of the neighbors said, it was like someone was interpreting your prayer into our ears. Another added, we could feel a presence surrounding us while you prayed. I turned to look at the mother, and I'll never forget her face. It had changed completely. The pain was still there, yes, but so was something else. Peace. Her face was glowing with a joy that hadn't been there before. Jesus had touched her, not just her knee, but her heart. I promised to return the next week to check on her. As my friend and I hiked back down the mountain, we prayed again. How do we get her the help she needed? Where could we find medical information or even a cell phone signal? We hadn't received one in months. But I knew one thing. We had introduced her to the only one who never fails, Jesus. And somehow, in that tiny grass hut on a mountain far from everything, hope had returned.